Well, good evening and welcome to our second game from the Investors Group Field. Winnipeg High School Football League action from Investors Group Field. We are bringing to you the second of our games tonight on LRSDTV, and thank you for joining us. Our second game is between the Daniel Mac Maroons and the Kildonan East Reavers for the second of our bowl games this evening, and I want to welcome you. My name is Brian Cameron, and I'm joined with Greg Kiesman as part of LRSDTV, and on a nice and rather cool evening tonight, and we're looking forward to some more great Winnipeg High School Football League action.
Yes, Brian, it's only a -11. At least there's no wind, and it's a dry cold. So, yeah, so here we are. We're at the Canadians Bowl here at Investors Group Field. We have Daniel Mac Maroons in dark color and Kildonan East Reavers in white. Daniel Mac finished the season at 7-0, and Kildonan East was 5-2. Some excellent play out of these teams this year in the Currie division. We know that the Daniel Mac quarterback, Kieran Benson, has had a great year this year. He's had over 1,000 yards passing and 18 TDs. And Kildonan East, one of the players we want to keep an eye on is number 80, Michael Goldenstein. Obviously a receiver who has a lot to offer for Kildonan East. So I'm excited to watch. Earlier game we saw a lot of passing despite the cold temperatures. So looking forward to an exciting game here.
So we're at the second of our games tonight, the Canadians Bowl. Earlier we saw the Winnipeg High School Football League, the WHSFL Bowl between the St. Norbert Celtics and the West Kildonan Wolverines, and pretty exciting finish. Saw the West Kildonan Wolverines come out on top by 1 point over top of the by 14-13. Great finish, exciting finish, and we're looking forward to another great game in terms of finishing off the Winnipeg High School Football League schedule this year between two teams that definitely deserve to be here.
Yeah, Daniel Mac has a rich tradition. They've had some great years with tremendous amount of football championships coming out of that school.
So yesterday at the press conference, LRSDTV was there with our student reporters, and we had a chance to catch up with the Daniel McIntyre coach and get his thoughts on what he had to prepare for and get ready for today's game.
Coach of DNCI, John. So John, what have your last few games looked like?
Our last two games, the quarterfinal and semifinal, were very tough games for us. The quarterfinal against St. John's was one of our toughest games we had all year. It was played in snow, icy conditions on our field. It was straight adversity from both teams. But again, Daniel Mac's offense lit them up, and our defense kept penetrating into their offensive line, setting their quarterback for sacks. So it showed a lot of pressure on the linemen, for sure. And with our semifinals last week against Crocus Plains at the stadium, we didn't know what to expect with them because we never played with them before. So we threw everything out with our offensive packages and basically sent them worrying of what to do next. On larger fields, Daniel Mac exploits the field tremendously. So that's what we're hoping to do tomorrow with Kildonan East. So,
what have you seen recently from your team that you'd want to work on for the upcoming game?
For us particularly is tackling on special teams. Special teams kickoff, we're really struggling to make sure that we have proper people in positions. Also for our cornerbacks to make sure that they're getting up there into the running back's face, or the wide receivers, getting them tackled, just playing strong, and we are smaller size-wise, but we do have strong athleticism, so we can outrun any other team. But Daniel Mac's defense is just incredible, so I'm not too worried about that, but just making sure that the guys stay on their opponent and pressure them.
And how do you handle emotion from your team coming into these championship games?
Well, good and bad. We haven't really had the chance to go to the championship game in a while. I believe it was 2011 since the last time we've been. But just the emotions on the player side, we've handled that all year. We've set the tone early in the year where the expectation is high. We use the school's acronym DMCI, the determination, motivation, commitment, and integrity, where we tell the guys that if you're dedicated to us, well, then that'll show with your entire motivation and commitment through the entire team. But most of the guys this year, luckily to say that they've had their emotions in check. Coaching staff, maybe not. We're very strong coached, but we want the best for our team, and for the most part, the players have committed to us, and we've shown the entire community in the league that we're now undefeated, and we hope that continues for tomorrow as well.
All right, well, I thank you for your time today, Coach, and good luck in your upcoming games.
Thank you.
Command with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And as we get set for the official
All right. We're getting ready to the start of the game, and we're gonna, as they're doing the coin toss, we just let everybody know how both of the teams got here. And again, we're looking for a great game tonight at the Canadians Bowl, our second game of the evening today. Daniel McIntyre, who did finish the season 7-0, matched up against St. John's in the semifinals and managed to get by them 28-22. Pardon me, they finished with a perfect record before edging St. John's 28-22 in a quarterfinal, but then really doing a number on Crocus Plains at 45-9 in the semifinal to make it to the final. They are seeking their first championship since 1978, while the Reavers knocked off Portage in their semifinal, building a 34-point lead before winning 40-12. Of note in this game, as we know, this is the Canadians Bowl, and both teams are building up, having a good season and looking to finish off strong, Greg.
Yeah, earlier this year, LRSDTV did the United Way games, and we were fortunate enough to watch Daniel Mack. Daniel Mack was very explosive in that game, and offensively they scored a lot of points. They have a lot of weapons. Kelowna East, don't know, haven't seen them play this year. I'm looking forward to seeing them for the first time. But again, they have some great talent there. Quarterback Nicholas Ducharme, I'm sure he's going to be looking for number 80, Michael Goldenstein, as his number one receiver.
So we're just down watching the coin toss.
So at kickoff, it currently is -11, and there is some snow falling, light snow, and really no wind here at the stadium. So that's not a factor in terms of wind at the back or anything like that. So
almost non-existent. So and as we saw in our previous game, shouldn't have too much of an impact on the game. The temperature itself, of course, will, but the not much of a wind to speak of. And so one thing's for sure, if it's got to be cold football, at least they're not having to deal with having to factor in a wind consideration also. Earlier the game, we had the WHSFL Bowl, and we saw the both teams play well. It was West Kildonan coming out on top, 13-12 over St. Norbert in a interesting game. There's lots of turnovers, lots of interesting plays that took place, and came right down to the end of the game on the last play.
So we're looking for something similar today with two teams battling hard, and hopefully it can come down right to the end of the game as well, and make it a fun and interesting game to watch.
So, on our first starting of the game tonight, the Reavers will be kicking to the Maroons, and here we go for the first play of the 2017 Canada Bowl, and it's picked up at about the 20-yard line, and staying to the right side of the field is number 20 from Daniel Mack, who will eventually be brought down about the 47-yard line. Great start for the first play for Daniel McIntyre.
Yeah, so again, Daniel Mack's led by quarterback number 11, Kieran Benson. Look for his number 1 receiver, number 13, Ethan Shernick, and number 89, Nathaniel King Wilson at receiver. They're also led by running back number 32, Rig Muluba.
So first and 10 for Kieran Benson. Will start underneath center. We'll hand off and finding some room right up the middle, and for a gain of about 7-8 yards, almost 9. Start off the play. Great start for Daniel Mack as they take it right up the middle, right up the gut against a very strong Kildonan East defense.
Number 50 on the play there for Kildonan East, Terry Blaze with a tackle. Second and about 2.
Benson's back, and he will roll to his right and throw the ball up and complete to number 35, who will get out of bounds at about the 51-yard line. Should be enough for a first down.
It's going to be close. Actually, they're calling this third down.
Well, I thought they had enough of first down, but as we look at the placement, it is about a yard short. So we'll hand off and finding no room, but then squeaking and manage to make something work. Get up across the 50-yard line of Kildonan East, and that's enough for a first down. Good recovery and good sense to keep his feet moving.
Yeah, great job by the running back here. You can see on the instant replay here, his initial progress was stopped. His feet were stopped. He backpedaled and was able to cut to his right and make some positive yards.
So first and 10 from just inside the Kildonan East side of the field, the 50-yard line, and Benson will continue from under center. Hands off again. Number 35 will cut and find some room to his right side, but fumbled on the play.
He's
recovered
rocked
by Kildonan East, and they will take over 30 from their own 38-yard line. Great run on the play by Daniel Mack, but unfortunately for them, the ball gets knocked out and turned over, and in fact will be taken over the 37-yard line by Kildonan East. So
number 1
play by Rig Mulabu.
Number 1, Nicholas Ducharme, was able to come up and lower the shoulder and put his shoulder pad on the ball and force the fumble there. So first turnover of the game, Brian.
And KE will take over from the 37-yard line, first and 10, starting in the shotgun. And down off inside and cutting to the left side and finding a bit of room, and eventually tackled and brought down after a gain of about 8 yards.
Looked like number 2, Martin's Wea was able to get some yardage, about 6 yards. Some of the Reavers to watch, other than Goldenstein, is Dion Nelson at running back, number 8. And we already talked about him, number 50, Terry Blaze.
So Ducharme, not a great snap on the ball, hits the ground, but he will pick it up and make enough for a first down. Great recovery by number 8 from Kildonan East, Dion Nelson.
So here's the replay here. You can see nice job exploding through the whole little bit of space there. Good job evading some tacklers.
Great job of breaking through a tackle. Number 8 looks, and he will put the ball up and through the hands of his intended receiver. Number 11 from Kildonis, Bryce Bayesabe. So it looks like number 8, Dion Nelson, is starting at quarterback for KE, Greg.
Yeah. On our roster here, it says Nicholas Ducharme, but
I do have Dion Nelson listed as another quarterback from another list, but starting typically is Ducharme, but he's not in line. So fumble on the play, and Dion Nelson will take the ball down to the field and actually get a gain of about 13, 14 yards, but it is hit and the ball comes out. Daniel Mack recovers at their own 45-yard line.
58, Matt Morette, with the fumble recovery for Daniel Mack.
So they will take over from their own 38-yard line, and we've seen a couple of turnovers already early in this Canadians Bowl for 2017. So Benson will start from under center. Hands off inside and finding a bit of room and get about 6-7 yards. So before the game started, we talked to the coaches and got some information on some players that they felt we should watch. And starting off with, of course, number 11 quarterback Kieran Benson. So number 11, Kieran Benson, and he had 1,000 passing yards in the regular season, 18 touchdowns and 146 yards rushing. In fact, interesting fact about him, he's a former Valor Patriot. But I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes, folks, but some interesting
nice little gain there. First down for Daniel Mack on the pitch to the right.
So they will continue their run from the Kildonis 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Benson continues to work from under center. Pitches back. Looking for some room to the left side is number 35. He will find a gap, break a couple of tackles, and find some room. Eventually brought down.
No, he's fumbled
again. Fumbled to and picked up by the number 4 from Kildonan East, who will recover the football. That is our 3rd turnover this game.
Wow. Great run by Malumbo, but unfortunately took a shot to the upper body and forced the ball out. Again, it's cold conditions here. The ball gets very greasy, very slippery, easy to pop out. So we're going to be keeping an eye and maybe keep a tally on number of turnovers we have tonight.
So recovered on the play by number 4, Jared Michalek. So KE will take over, 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, and both teams have been able to move the ball, but unfortunately have turned the ball over. So handoff and picked up on the play behind is number 80.
Michael Goldenstein.
One of our players to watch tonight.
Just a jet sweep there with the slot back coming around, and Daniel Mack read that well and were able to contain that for actually about a yard and a half loss.
That would make it 2nd and about 11 from their own 11-yard line, 12-yard line. So Nelson continues to work back, and this time he'll hang on to the ball and look for some room to his right side. Nothing there, so he'll throw down complete to number 11, who should have enough for a 1st down.
Nice throw by Nelson
to Bryce Bayesabe, and that will keep the ball moving and get Kildonan East out of a bit of a hole. We're giving them a bit better field position from when they started, so they will continue 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line.
So just looking at some of the stats, Nelson had switched from receiver to running back and had
throws it up to number 80, Goldenstein. who will catch the ball and get about a 7-8 yard gain on the play.
So Nelson had 483 yards rushing. So obviously he's going to be quite a dual threat in throwing and running the ball.
And I do see, I'm looking across the field, Greg, and I see number 1, Nicholas Ducharme, I'm assuming, and he's definitely not dressed for the game. I'm assuming that's him. Okay, let's check that. We're just learning that he's at slot back. So somebody else is wearing a number 1 jersey on the sidelines that I got confused with. My apologies, folks. So we do see that Nicholas Ducharme is playing slot. Well, that last play gives Kildoni East another first down, so they will continue to this march, and they've done well to get themselves out of a hole. So 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, and Nelson will hand off inside, but covered quite quickly on the play. He handed off to number 2, Martin Zui again. Might get themselves back up to the original line of scrimmage. Actually looks like a small amount of a loss there.
Looks like Riley Redsky with the tackle for Daniel Mack.
So just under 33 minutes left in the first quarter of the Canadiens Bowl. No score yet.
3 turnovers.
3 turnovers already. Both teams showing that they can move the ball, but turnovers have hurt them both. So Martins will throw it up. Throws it complete to Goldenstein, who might get 3 or 4 yards on the play. Pardon me, Nelson threw the ball.
Looks like Ethan Schernick was able to come up and make the play for Daniel Mack there. Nice tackle.
But that's a 3rd down and gives him a long, third and 7 yards to go. So Kildonan East will have our first punt of the game. And a great kick. Fielded at about the 40-yard line, but run down and recovered on the play. No, it's still out. Picked up by number 89 from Daniel Mack, who will find some room to the right side and break a tackle. And eventually be thrown out of bounds at about the 53-yard line. Flag on the play.
Looks like it might be coming back for a clip. Nice little run by 89 there, Nathaniel King Wilson.
I thought I might have also, and I'm probably wrong, Greg, but I thought I might have seen a cage in there that they right about the time they called the flag too. And they are calling unnecessary roughness against KE.
Holding charge against the Maroons, unnecessary roughness called on the Reavers.
Kind of on the sideline there.
There are 2 flags on the play. Illegal block, Daniel Mack. Unnecessary roughness, Kildonan East, number 1. We'll go up 5, first down.
So it all evens out with a +5 for Daniel Mack,
who will take over on the next possession from the Kildonan East side of the field at the 54-yard line. Still no score with 1:46 left in the first quarter. And Benson will continue to work from under center. Hands off to and cutting to his right, number 89 from Daniel Mack. And that would be Nathaniel King Wilson.
Yeah, a gain of about 4 or 5 there. Nice little job off tackle run. You can see on the screen here that there is some snow coming down. So that if this continues for the game, there'll be some moisture on that ball, and it's going to make it a little hard to hang on to it.
You can sure tell that there's almost no wind, though, the way that's floating down right now, Greg. So 2nd and 5 from the 50-yard line of Kildonan East. Benson will roll to his left side, pitch it up front to number 13 from Daniel, who will try to find some room, and it does, and beats a receiver, eventually pushed out of bounds or runs out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So that would be Ethan Snirk, pardon me.
nice speed by Schnertz there. He came from the far right-hand side, and the quarterback just basically pitched it out to him, and he's able to get a first down.
And able to step around the one Kildonan East defender to get himself some more yards and get that first down.
I remember watching Daniel Mack earlier this year, and I was just amazed at their overall team speed. They're a very fast team.
Benson under center, hand off again. Nathaniel King-Wilson will cut to his right side and tackled on the play, but fighting up for a few more yards and flag afterwards. Number 89, again, Nathaniel King-Wilson, but number 42 from Kildonan East, and that would be Rajbir Singh.
Face masking. There's another 15 yards there for face masking. So a couple undisciplined.
And as a result of the penalties the ball has moved up to the 20-yard line.
Like Kildonan East here has kind of cost some big yards.
And given Daniel Mack 1st and 10 from the Kildonan East 20-yard line. Had a chance to chat with the young, for a quick minute yesterday with the young Rajbir Singh, and an interesting man, pretty confident. He thought they could give Daniel Mack a good run today. So they cut inside and taken on the play by number 30 from Daniel Mack.
Garcia.
LJ Garcia, the first time we called his name. So that will give them a first down, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line of Kildonan East.
Well, you can see on the replay here that the Daniel Mack O-line has gotten great push, firing off the ball real hard on the snap of the ball, and really moving that Kildonan East D-line.
Benson hands off again and cutting to the left side this time, and another flag on the play.
Oh, I think I might have jinxed the O-line there. Looks like they're going to be calling holding on the on the Maroons.
Went back to Garcia, but unfortunately, I think that's going to cost Daniel Mack, and so there's going to be a 1st and goal from the 19-yard line.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So 1st and 19, Benson under center, and will fumble the bad snap, but he will fall on the ball.
Brian, I'm going to say that's on the quarterback, because quarterback has to ride the center a little longer on that play.
Yeah,
he pulled away. Yeah, he pulled away a little early.
Pulled away a little quick.
So that's the end of the quarter, 0-0.
No score in the Canadians Bowl from IGF. Winnipeg High School Football League playoff final action. Great first quarter so far, Greg, but both teams kind of at times shooting themselves in the foot, either with penalties or turnovers. So we're going to go take a look at a few of our highlights from the first quarter, but I thought it was a great quarter. I mean, no score yet, but both teams able to move the ball, just not able to finish. Benson's back, and he will throw the ball up to his receiver in the corner, but it's way over his head, his intended receiver from Daniel Mack, number 13, Ethan Schnurk.
So 3rd and goal from the 20-yard line. Looks like they're lining up for a field goal here, Brian. In the game earlier, we did see some missed snaps because of the cold weather. A little bit high snap there.
They're going to fake this, and in fact, Benson's going to see what he can do. Moving to his left side is number 13, Schnurk, and he will be eventually pushed out of side, well short of the goal, but then flags fly on the play, and I think Kildonan East has just finished giving the ball right back to Daniel Mack. I think they're going to be called on a tackle out of bounds.
Yeah, there was a high snap, obviously, and so Daniel Mack, did a ice call where they run a play off of it, and well short of even coming close to scoring. Didn't need to be touched at all.
So number 1 from Kildonan East has just been penalized unnecessary roughness and again out of bounds, but.
So the ball's down at the 1 yard line now. So a rather undisciplined call there.
And that was number 1, Nicholas Ducharme, who we thought would be starting quarterback today, but is in fact playing in a couple other places in this game. So 1st and goal. Hands off inside, but there's flag on the play. And they did see that one coming from a little ways away regardless, and LG Garcia was taught no.
Procedure.
Even the Daniel Mack team is calling procedure themselves, so it looks like it's going to be against Daniel Mack.
Procedure, Daniel Mack, number 64, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So that would make it 1st and goal now from the 6-yard line. 11:21 left in the 2nd quarter. Benson back to pass and look inside and throws just through the hands of his intended receiver. Number 13 once again, Ethan Snurk.
Looked like Kyle Campbell for Kildonan East had some good pressure on the quarterback.
So 2nd and goal. Through the hands, a high snap over top of Benson's hands, and he will be knocked down and fumble. The ball's out, but picked up by number 89 from Daniel Mack, who will find a bit of room to his left, but eventually brought down well behind the play. Big loss for Daniel Mack on that bad snap. Fortunate to still be in possession of the ball.
Well, things went from bad to worse for Daniel Mack. This will be 3rd down and goal.
From the 27-yard line, so they started from the 1-yard line to Kildonan East, and it's basically been a 26-yard loss in the past 2 plays. So 3rd and 27.
Are they going to punt here?
They're actually punting.
Is this their punt formation? Yep.
Ethan Snurch will punt and will put it into the end zone. It's picked up by Goldenstein, who will give up the point, and so our first points of the game. So Daniel Mack will open the scoring with 9:49 left in the 2nd quarter, 1-0 in the Canadians Bowl in 2017 from Investors Group Field.
Well, not a great start for Daniel Mack. I mean, they had first and goal from the 1-yard line, and they ended up losing 26 yards. So
well, and to be able to retain the ball on that unnecessary roughness call and get it given to them on the 1-yard line, I'm sure a very disappointing finish to walk away with only 1 point. So Kildonan East has chosen to take the ball from the 35-yard line. Now, as I say that, Greg, in high school football game, is that a choice, or do they have to take it?
No, it's a choice you make, especially when you just give up the 1 point.
So Nelson continues to work in quarterback, and he will be brought down behind the play. So a big loss of about 7-8 yards, and the Daniel Macamaroo's front line has made a statement on that play.
Mulubu, nice sack on that. He's played a little bit of linebacker, a little bit of running back. Nice tackle.
This time Nelson will be working from the shotgun, and he's going to look downfield and nothing really there. He will break loose from a tackle, run to his right, and throw the ball up. And caught on the play at the mid-yard line by Goldenstein, who have one or two defenders to be eventually brought down at the 33-yard line. Great job by Goldenstein to bring that ball down.
I'll tell you what, the quarterback took a hellacious hit on that play, though.
I had a chance to talk to this young man yesterday, and he was pretty confident. I guess he must have missed part of the game season this year, because he said he was back, and I guess when Daniel Mack played them earlier this year, or maybe they hadn't had a chance to see him because he was not there, and he made a statement there.
Good job of aiding the rush on that.
So Nelson will pitch it out back to Goldenstein, who will look to his right side, and eventually tackled for a short gain of a yard or two.
Might have just got back to the line of scrimmage. Oh no, he got about a yard. Yeah, no, that was going back to the last play. That was a great job by the quarterback. I thought for sure he's going to get sacked. Great throw. That is a heck of a throw.
So 2nd and 9, Kildonan East, and they're looking to. They've had a good series on this drive, and looking to keep it moving. So Nelson will keep the ball, and not much room there. He's being contained and eventually brought down. Might have gained of maybe a yard. And I don't know if they just collapsed to him, but they sure seemed to be able to read what they were trying to do there, Greg.
Yeah, no, it was a zone read, and I think he misread that. I think he probably should have handed it off to the fullback on that one. I don't think anybody on Daniel Mack defense was buying the fake handoff.
So Kildonan East, number 68, will be punting the ball. Alex Vader. And a great kick. Fielded at about the 5-yard line. Finding a bit of room is number 28 from Daniel. Flag on the play. Eventually tackled about the 25-yard line, but I think probably this is going to come back with an illegal block. Looking at fielded on a play by number 28, DA. Good speed, but unfortunately that nice run is actually going to be back and put Daniel Mack into a bit of a hole here.
Illegal block, Daniel Mack, number 64. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, Daniel Mack is in the middle or in the shadows of their goal post here, so hopefully they can get the ball out of their own end and move the ball up into a spot where they can get either points or turn the ball over out of their own end zone.
So they'll start from about their own 9-yard line, and Benson's back and will pass and complete to number 13, Schnurk, who will get up to about the 35, 36-yard line. Actually, you're going to give him the 34, tackled and get slid up a bit, but great pass by Benson.
Nice composure by the quarterback, just sitting back there, waiting for that was a long developing play. He sat back there, the offensive line gave him a lot of time, sat back there, read the coverage and found the open receiver on that play. Well executed.
That gets them out of a big hole and up to the their own 34-yard line. Benson pitches back to number 89, who will try to beat it, but his tackle might get a gain of a yard or two.
You can see the Daniel Mack bench yelling at one of their players, "Hey, you missed the block, you missed the block."
Nathaniel King-Wilson was looking for a couple blocks on that play, I'm assuming. He got a gain of about 2. So 2nd and 8. Benson's back to pass and throws it up in the air, and it's just about intercepted. Tipped up in the air, I think, by number 42, Singh.
that was the play that they ran just before, a couple plays earlier where they completed it. Obviously, a little bit more pressure on the quarterback there. See upfield pressure by number 40. And just a little bit of a tip drill, but nobody could come up with it. Looks like Daniel Mack is punting.
Snurk is a busy man tonight already, so he will punt out, and KE will take over from their own 45, 44-yard line. So still with 4:53 left in the second quarter, our score is only 1-0, but been a great football game so far.
Well, you know, Brian, the game earlier was decided by 1 point. So in these conditions, 1 point could make or break you here.
Well, we definitely saw that the game earlier today. Hand off inside, finding nothing. Number 2 from K. Martins Wea.
Good job by the Daniel Mack defense, just coming upfield and getting upfield penetration on that.
So back to the original line of scrimmage. Nelson continues the quarterback, and he will roll to his right side and throw the ball to an open receiver, number 11 from Kelowna East. So find a bit of room and should get close. It's still not being brought down and eventually pushed out of bounds just across midfield. Should be enough for a first down. And it looks like Snurk is down on the other side. No, he's up and going.
So basically Daniel Mack is double covering number 80, Goldenstein. So that allows for some of the other Kelowna East receivers to be open on that play. And there was really nobody around him on that play.
Good job by number 11, Beasabi, to work and fight and get that first down. So 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe. Nelson hands off and looking up room, and we have a flag on the play. Almost right away. Holding against KE.
There is a flag on the play.
We've kind of seen this throughout the game, Greg, where both teams get themselves going, get a little momentum, and then something happens to slow down that momentum, like another flag or a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough conditions. I mean, the guys, they know that this is the last game of the year. It's their championship game.
10-yard penalty remains
cold
first
weather
down.
Aside, everybody's a little tight.
Yeah, so everybody's trying their best, and sometimes, you know, hands aren't placed in the right spot or whatever. You're doing the best that you can to help your team win, and ref's job is to make those flags. So
Nelson will look, and oh no, we got Ducharme, the quarterback, who will find a bit of room to the right and is making something out of nothing.
Wow.
But we'll still take, no, actually we'll get a gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards, or is he back to the original line of scrimmage again? Look at, no, he's got about 2 yards on the play, Greg.
Boy, he broke a lot of tackles there.
Yeah, he worked hard for that 2 yards.
No, if I'm the D coordinator for Daniel Mack, I'm going to say, you know, guys, you got to make sure of those tackles.
So it looks like Ducharme will be playing a quarterback now. No, and as I say that, he moves out to slot. So Nelson's back in at quarterback, and he's going to look downfield, and he will throw the ball up in the air, but well short.
Oh!
Almost picked off on the play by number 84 from Daniel Mack.
If he would have caught that, there would have been nothing but open room for him to score.
Ong, too, almost had an interception there.
Really not a great throw there. There's about 3 or 4 Daniel Mack Maroons standing out there, so wasn't a great spot for that throw to take place.
Again into punt. DA and Nathaniel King Wilson deep.
3rd and 18. Kildonan East will be punting the ball back to Daniel Mack. Down 1-0 with 2:35 left in the second quarter. Canadians Bowl from IGF. Another great kick on the play. Fielded on the play by number 28 from Daniel, who will be caught almost right away and pushed out of bounds at about the 38-39 yard line. So fielded again by DA.
Well, 1-0 with 2 minutes left. Just a little over 2 minutes in the second quarter here. I kind of thought they would have had more points on the board by now.
Well, the way that both teams have been able to move the ball at times, and yet, things happen, which, the penalties or the turnovers, and haven't been able to allow them to finish drives. Benson lines up under center and will hand off, and cutting back inside back to the center is number 89 once again, Nathaniel King Wilson.
Gain of about 4. So with 2 minutes, 2:15 left, not a lot of time came off on that play. Pardon me. Daniel Mack still has a fair amount of time here to move the ball down to the red zone and maybe score here.
So 2nd and almost 6. Hands off again inside. Cutting outside is number 85 and 35, pardon me, and should have a first down, tackled at about the 51 yard line. Taken by Rick Mulabu. Nice run by Rick to cut over to his right, then back up towards the center again and find a little bit of room and get the first down.
Yeah, really good vision to find a daylight on that play, just to bounce it outside and convert the first down.
So 1st and 10 from just over their own 50 yard line. Daniel will continue. Hands inside to Mulabu again, who will find again some more room and continues outside and will find even more daylight and eventually pushed out of bounds at the 35 yard line of Kildonan East.
Boy, I like this player. Nice speed, great way to bounce it outside, and he did not shy away from contact there. He was a hammer, not the nail on that one. And he also looked back at the Kildonan East DB there to see, hey, you're not bringing me down easily, or I'm not stepping out on you. Gotta love tough football players like that.
So 1st and 10 from just inside the 35 yard line of Kildonan East. Daniels has a great drive going here. Hand inside to number 13, Schnurk, who will move out to the left side. Pursued, but managed to step around. Slowed down on the play. Will continue to find room. Gets eventually pushed out of bounds at the 20 yard line. Great run by Schnurk.
Wow. Once again, just great vision, being able to cut back and make players miss.
I'm impressed with this young man's speed, Greg. And his lateral movement. And in this weather, that's not easy to do.
No. I mean, the field, it's artificial turf. I mean, it's not frozen like grass would be, but still, it's not acting like it normally does in this cold temperature.
And Coach St. Cyr has got to be happy to see that this young man's only in grade 11. And back, and Mulabu's got the ball, and he will look to his right. Flag on the play, though.
Oh.
And he will pay that to tomorrow, and flag on the play after that one, and
wow. And he got up from that.
He's walking away from that one, but he will feel that one tomorrow.
Well, I think we got two flags on the play. One is holding against Daniel Mack. And I'm not sure what the other one. It might be the referee's throwing a flag on that hit there, because he could have been leading with his head. We'll have the replay here.
Well, I don't know. It looked to me like it was shoulder. And they're calling unnecessary roughness against.
There are two fouls on the play. Holding, Daniel Mack, number 13. Unnecessary roughness, Kildonan East. Up 5, automatic first down.
What do you think, Greg? Did you see unnecessary roughness in there?
Well, you know what? In football nowadays, Brian, we're referees and everyone's trying to protect players from taking those defenseless hits. So, you know, he's obviously on his way down, and you know, it's one of those judgment calls by the referees down on the field.
So 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, and wide open in the end zone is number 20 from Daniel McIntyre, our first touchdown of the game with 59 seconds left in the second quarter. And Daniel McIntyre will take a 7-point lead pending the point after.
Nice little pass and catch there for the touchdown.
So scored on the play by Mark Jordan Augustin. Point after is good. Flag down on the play. Holding against Daniel McIntyre, so we'll redo that.
The Maroons.
So we're almost done the first half of the Canadians Bowl, and we're just waiting to see now as Daniel will have to redo the point after.
Holding, Daniel Mack. 10-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff. The convert will be retried.
So the 10-yard penalty will be applied to the kickoff. And the point after is good. So that gives Daniel McIntyre a lead of 8-0. 59 seconds left in the first half.
Brian, I think there's another flag down here.
There is.
The back judge called this one.
As we wait the call, and they're going to make them redo the kick again.
Applied on the kickoff, we will retry the convert.
So now that's 20 yards that's going to be applied on the next kickoff, Greg, and that's going to be beneficial to West Kildonan, who will have 59 seconds and probably pretty good field position after this kickoff. So they're good, and there's no flag this time, so with 59 seconds left, West Kildonan should have the ball in pretty good field position after this kickoff in just a moment after 2 penalties.
Well, that's kind of a rare play there. You don't usually see 2 holdings back to back on converts, so interesting. So it looks like Daniel Mack will probably kick off from their own 25.
All right, 59 seconds left, and we have a kickoff, and it will be fielded at just outside the 50-yard line and fumbled, and having to fall down on the ball is Goldenstein.
So in amateur rules, once a player, his knee is down, play is automatically called.
So I got to think that Kildonan East is going to be a little disappointed on their potential field position after that kickoff, and Daniel Mack is going to be a little happy after the way that one worked out.
Well, again, from what I've seen from Kildonan East, they're still very explosive. So with 56 seconds left, they still can come down and score here.
So Ducharme is in at quarterback and will hand off to number 8, Nelson, who will find some room, cut back in towards the center, and eventually, oh no, still going, pushing and driving, and will bust free, and the ball is fumbled.
Who's coming up with this one?
Who came up with the ball here? And I'm still waiting. Oh, it is Kildonan East football. So luckily for them, after a great run by Nelson, they were able to hang on to the ball. And, you know, Nelson fought through that and managed to make something after all the tackling and coverage. He, you know, the ball just gets stripped out, and then he managed to come up with it again.
You know, how many times do we see that in the NFL and CFL where second effort just and then a fumble, right?
So Ducharme continues at the quarterback and caught in the backfield, trying to catch
number 55.
Nelson again, but anticipated well for it, and it'll be a loss of both 3 yards. Good read on the play.
Second and 13.
Made a great tackle.
Timeout taken by Kildonan East.
So KE is going to take a timeout with 28 seconds left in second and 13, as they're going to look to score, or at least put something on the board before the half. You don't want to go out empty-handed now, but only have 28 seconds left to do it.
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds, you basically have at least 3 or 4 plays. I know they have one more timeout left, one more timeout after this one. So they could still run a run play here and still have time left over to run a couple more plays.
So letting everybody know ahead of time here, we're going to run a few highlight plays just at the end of the half, and then go to a few commercials, and we'll be back just before the start of the second half. In the meantime, second and 13, second and 12.
Daniel Mack.
And now Daniel Mack will call a timeout.
Not a bad decision here. Just basically see who's going to line up under quarterback there. Whether it's going to be Ducharme or Nelson. So the entire Daniel Mack defense has come over to talk to the coaches. So again, the coach is going to talk about, hey, don't give up a big play. There's only 30 seconds left. You know, make sure that keep everything in front of yourselves. That was a great run, by the way, by Nelson, hey, Brian?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, he made that play and gave them really good field position, and gives them a good chance to at least put something on the board, whether it be a touchdown or field goal. But you know, that was all Nelson, and good on him to recover the fumble.
So it's second down and looks like about a long 12, maybe 13 yards here.
Ducharme is back to pass, and he will throw the ball up to Goldenstein, who will catch it all through his hands. Goldenstein had a chance at a touchdown there, and it wasn't able to pull it in. So that is now third and 13.
You could tell Goldenstein's a little bit frustrated with himself there. He had a good shot at that one.
I think he's pretty. I would speak on from what I talked to, and you know, I enjoyed chatting with the young man yesterday, but I'm pretty sure he believes he should have had that. So they're going for it. Third and 13. And Ducharme will be back, and again he will throw it up right back to Goldenstein again, who probably this time looked to just tip it away and make sure it couldn't be intercepted on the last play of the game. So on a turnover on downs, and Kildonan East will take over with 15 seconds left in the second quarter, up 8-0.
So good job by the Daniel Mack DBs there, just to, you know, obviously Goldenstein's got a little bit of a height advantage on him, so just, you know, climbing that ladder, jumping as high as they can and knocking the ball away. So at 15 seconds left and a 8-0 lead, I'm thinking Daniel Mack will probably just take a knee or kill the clock here.
Oh, we saw early movement on the Kildonan East defensive line, and I think it's going to be... Oh no, they're calling procedure against...
Yeah, it looked like the left guard or tackle jumped.
Illegal procedure, Daniel Mack, number 57. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Left guard. Clock won't start until the snap of the ball here because of the penalty. I have to wait till the referee blows it in here.
So 1st and 15, and
yeah, 2nd down now.
2nd down, pardon me.
So there's the half.
Kill the clock. So there's the half, folks. So we're going to bring you in to see highlights from the first half. I thought it was a great first half, and unfortunately, we're not able to. Kildonan East wasn't able to put it in the end zone, but they were able to move the ball. Good job, Daniel McIntyre, pardon me, to come out on top of this one and force Kildonan East to work for everything they did get.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Mac is undefeated. They're the favorite to win this game, but Kildonan East is certainly within striking distance at 8-0, and both teams have moved the ball. I mean, I'm very impressed with Kildonan East's offense here. They have some very explosive. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head into a few highlights of the first half, and we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes time. And we thank you for joining LRSDTV's coverage of Winnipeg High School football action from Investors Group Field. We hope you enjoyed the game so far, and we're looking forward to a great second half. Thank you.
Broadcast media program here at ATC is an excellent and fun 8-credit program that gives the students the opportunity to be a part of the TV, radio, and media industry.
They're going to learn the basics of broadcast media, so they're going to be learning how to be on-air people, how to work a camera, be technical people behind the scenes, editing, special effects, graphics. We're going to show them how to do films, documentaries, news. There's so many aspects to broadcasting nowadays. It's just not as simple as I'm going to be a cameraman at a news station. They can do so much more. So we're going to teach a lot of different aspects of this industry.
Students work on state-of-the-art computers, audio equipment, professional cameras, and a fully mobile production studio. That studio travels from school to school broadcasting live events on the LRSD.TV online TV station.
The equipment we're using here at ATC is close to professional broadcast as we possibly can afford. Obviously some things are very expensive, so we can't afford buying all those things, but we're using professional cameras. We have a full-size switcher, which is very expensive, and we have a lot of equipment here, including a radio station that's using professional radio software, the same stuff you'd see at a radio station. We're trying to emulate industry as best we possibly can with what we have here, and I think it's really cool that students get to use these kind of toys at a high school level.
Students also get to work on LRSD-TV and LRSD radio. This will give students hands-on opportunities and real experiences that you would find on a professional job site.
We actually are creating a TV station here and a radio station for students to hone their skills. The best way to do it is continuing to do it hands-on. So one of the things that we do a lot of are sporting events for television, and we're going to be starting our radio program this year where students will actually be on the air and be able to be heard by family and friends on the internet.
It's because of opportunities like this that makes the students excited to be part of this program.
I would really say that this program has a lot to give. They teach you everything in every single detail, the theory part, the practical things, and also you get to meet a lot of new people over here. You get to make contacts, you get to know about the industry a lot. So it's a really good program if you're thinking about going in photography or videography things.
So much in this course that you just don't know before you take it. Like, you don't really know broadcasting is a job. Maybe you do, I don't know. I learned everything about post-production. The teacher is great, he has experience in the industry, and we use great equipment.
By the end of the program, the goal is to prepare students for a career in the broadcasting industry, or to move on to post-secondary education. Students can go on a 4-week work experience. Thanks to the experience they get here using professional equipment and broadcasting sporting events, students have the opportunity to get a job in the industry and find entry-level employment in the field as general operators, television assistants, camera operators, editors, and more.
Now I work for Dome Productions that works under TSN, and they do sports such as the Jets and the Bombers. So Mr. P gave out my name to TSN and got me the job for the Bombers, and I did Parab. So they liked me, and I ended up getting another job with the Jets. So I do the score bug for them.
You want to join this exciting program? Go to our website or call us at 204-237-8951.
Luria Arts and Technology Center, more known as ATC, is a vocational school for high school, post-secondary, and international students. The plumbing trade is one of the 13 programs that are taught. If you have a strong personal interest in piping and plumbing industry, this program is perfect for you. Students learn industry-approved methods of code applications and requirements for assembling, supporting, handling, and storing of piping and plumbing materials. Everything that students learn will be able to apply their skills in residential piping and plumbing, including sanitary, drainage, and water supply systems.
It's level 1 plumbing according to the Manitoba apprenticeship, and they learn the fundamentals of plumbing in this course.
Class starts off with theory, soon moving into the practical section of the program.
They learn a lot of theory, goes into it, plus practical applications that helps them out on the job site. They learn about plumbing code, safe work practices, anything that's pertinent to safety, and a lot of aspects in that nature.
8 credits are offered, 4 for one semester and the other 4 in the second semester. With state-of-the-art equipment, students can replicate the use of tools from a regular job site.
Oh, it's a great work lab. It's clean, it's safe, lots of room as well, and we just have all the time. We have a lot of time also to complete our projects as well. Learn almost everything about copper, drain waste and vent, iron pipe, how to thread, just general kind of like plumbing maintenance stuff. Types of projects we've done so far is we've done copper projects, drain waste and venting projects. We even have some bays set up here where we do like kind of fake bathrooms, and we sort of set up the fake bathrooms.
The work lab consists of realistic problems for students to solve, along with hands-on work.
I am a hands-on guy, so I'm not really sitting in the cubicles, so I think that made me to join the trades. And plumbing is right now in Manitoba, from I heard, is they need lots of plumbers, so that's also made me decide to join the plumbing trades.
Some beneficial skills like good problem-solving skills, the ability to work in a team environment, effective communication, and manual dexterity can enhance their experience in the industry. With an instructor who has over 20 years of experience in plumbing, students can guarantee a fun and safe environment.
They have up to 2 years to gain employment and continue their apprenticeship after that, but they'll have an insight and a foot in the door, so to speak, to get into a plumbing trade. After this, they can move to either residential, commercial applications, and service work. They could get into all types. The last part of our program, the last month, is a work experience. They go out for 4 weeks, like an internship, working for a company.
Interested in the program? Or if you're wanting to check out our other 13 programs, go on our website at www.lrsd.net/schools/ATC or call us at 204-237-8951.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the Canadians Bowl from Investors Group Field. Daniel McIntyre up 8-0, and they will kick off to Kelowna East, and picked up by Goldenstein, who will find some room and cut back up to the right side. Continues to run, cuts back in, and what a great run by Goldenstein to start off the second half for Kelowna East and gets them back up to about the midfield stripe. So welcome back, folks. We had a great first half. Although the score doesn't reflect it that much, both teams were able to move the ball fairly well, but just at times weren't able to finish. And we're looking forward to a great second half of football. And KE started off with a great return after that kickoff from Daniel Mack.
Yeah, this is. I'm looking for some great stuff to happen in this half in terms of some great offensive plays here.
So Ducharme will start at quarterback and hands off to Nelson, who will find quite a bit of room of a fumble.
The ball again.
Picked up on the play and run, and often coming back in the other way is number 28 from Daniel McIntyre, and gets all the way back to the Kelowna East 50-yard line. And what did we just talk about, or I've been talking about a few times already this game? You know, teams get something going and then, you know, kind of shoot themselves in the foot with a fumble. And great run by Nelson, but unfortunately turns over the ball to number 28 from Daniel McIntyre, who then had a great run. DA.
You know, not to be negative on Nelson, but I think that's his second or third fumble today. So he's had great runs, but he's just got to have that ball protection. He's got to really put two hands on that football.
You know what? He's had a great game in general when he was playing quarterback and now in his current role. And yeah, you know, that's not what he wants to be doing. And I know we'll be seeing some better football from him, but, you know, it's now up to KE to sort of make something happen and turn this right back around.
Well, I got to just comment on the field here that Kelowna East just called timeout. It looks like they're one player short. So you're only allowed 2 timeouts per half. So, you know, this could be timely, or this could hurt them down the road if they're spending their timeout at this early stage of the quarter. So by my count, I'm thinking that's about the 5th turnover so far this game.
So the second of 4 games that we're going to cover over the 2 nights here at Investors Group Field with the LRSDTV, and I do want to thank you all for joining us, myself and Greg. Daniel McIntyre continues to lead, and they will take over from the 50-yard line of Kelowna East and hands off to number 89, who will find some room to the right and with great speed, and ends up getting about 8 yards on this.
Yeah, great run there by was it D for about an 8-yard gain here. I was just pointing out to Brian here on the bench here, where I'm looking down at the Daniel Mack bench, and they have the big water Gatorade jug, and they have to put it in front of the heater to thaw the ice off.
So that was number 89, Nathaniel Wilson, who got there, and this time DA will find some room to the right side and move up, and eventually pushed out of bounds at the 18-19 yard line. Sorry, check that. Rig Moulabou. Great run by Rig Moulabou to get them back down and to about the 18-yard line. Nope, sorry, they're saying stepped out at about the 21.
Yeah, another excellent run by Moulabou. Initially had that first contact, spun out of that tackle, and was able to get a huge first down for Daniel Mack.
So big defensive stand needed right now for Kelowna to make sure that Daniel Mack doesn't add to it's already an 8-point lead. So Nathaniel moves to his left, but he's covered pretty closely. And as I said, a big stand needed, and they got one there, stopping Nathaniel King Wilson.
I was kind of watching the Daniel Mack players here. They're kind of hoping for a face masking call. You can see on the play here, on the replay here, that it's pretty close. I guess the helmet just popped off, so it made it look like there was face masking.
So that will be 2nd and about 7. Benson hands off to Mulabu, who will cut to his right side, but not much to be gained this time. Maybe a 3 or 4 yard run. Stopped on the play by Sharma from KE.
So 3rd and 3, it looks like they're going to be going for it here, Brian.
Yeah, they got some good momentum going, and the worst that happens if they don't make it is they turn it over deep in KE territory. Benson will start under center. And he will draw back, and this time Schnurk will come to his left side and appears to be close to that first down marker.
Looks like he's got it from my angle.
Yes, he does, and they will give him first down from the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for Daniel McIntyre with 8:19 left in the 3rd quarter.
Kind of an interesting call for 3rd and 3. Handing the ball off really deep like that.
Well, it just reminds me of a couple recent Blue Bomber games where, you know, they kind of went at the Bomber defense. On 3rd and relatively long, I guess 3-4 yards at times. So 1st and goal, hands to Mulabu, who will be tracked down. Oh, will find some room. He'll cut back towards his right side. Cut back again, and will eventually be tripped up and lands at about the 5-yard line. But I'll tell you, that was 5 well-earned yards, because he could have easily lost 2 or 3 in the backfield.
Probably ran about 35 yards to gain 5. So Kelowna East is changing up some of the players there, bringing in some fresh D linemen as getting fresh troops on the field here to maybe come up with a goal line stand.
So basically the 4-yard line actually of Kelowna East, so 2nd and goal. Benson pitches back to Nathaniel again, who will cut it. Oh, will be stopped dead in his tracks at about the 3-yard line. And that makes a statement.
Kyle Campbell, number 12 from KE, came up and just lowered his shoulder. Looks like Nathaniel King might be a little shaken up. It wasn't a dirty hit or anything like that. He just stood his ground and lowered his shoulder.
And he's Nathaniel King Wilson is down, and he started to get up, and I get the feeling the referee actually almost told him he had to get off the field anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a right call for the ref to let him come off the field. Let a trainer evaluate him, see if he's okay or not.
He appears to be walking off fine under his own power, but that will be 3rd and goal. And it appears once again that Daniel will go for it.
Well, one of the things I always say is you want to be the hammer, not the nail.
Yep, there we go. Good call on this play, I think. We'll keep an eye on Nathaniel King Wilson as he heads to the sidelines here, but I don't think it'll be too long before we see him back in the game. 3rd and goal. Benson throws the ball up in the air, and wide open is Snurk for Daniel McIntyre's 2nd touchdown of the game, and they will go up by another 6 points with 6:40 left in the 3rd quarter.
Love that play call. And you know what composure. Like, it was beautiful pass by Benson. It looked, so composed. Great catch, wide open.
Good job from the offensive front line of Daniel McIntyre to give Benson that kind of room and time, and nice throw and well timed. Good play.
Well, interesting. The refs kind of blew this down, saying I'm not even sure what they're telling Daniel Mack. They have to be up on the line of scrimmage or something.
Ball's up, and it is good. So that makes it 15-0 for Daniel McIntyre.
And more importantly, no penalty flags on the play.
No penalty
flags. On the convert. Well, if I'm River East, Kelowna East, I'm obviously thinking we got to get back in the game here. We got to stop turning the ball over and get some points on the board.
I think I got to believe that they got to make something happen and sustain one of those drives and basically not do something to themselves to cause a turnover or end up having to give the ball back to Daniel because they have moved the ball. Ball fielded at the 30-yard line by Nelson, who will cut to his left side and find a bit of room. That may be the play that they need because he will end up going over to the Daniel McIntyre side of the ball. And
Brian, one of the things I don't like about the Daniel Mac kickoff is it puts the ball right in the middle of the field. It's harder to cover that if you're kicking the ball right in the middle of the field. You want to kick it more towards where the numbers are on the field.
So they're saying he went out of bounds at the 53-yard line of Daniel McIntyre. So a great start for Kildonan East, and as we said, they need something like this to get some momentum going and get a score on the board. So Ducharme will hand off to Nelson, who will find some room to the left side and tackled for about a 9-yard gain. Great job by Nelson, and he hung onto the ball that time.
He's such a hard runner that's very difficult to bring him down. Actually, both teams have very good running backs. I'm very impressed with the level of play out of these teams' running backs.
And I did talk to a few of the players yesterday from both times, and I think that's one of the things that they said, that they expected that both teams will run the ball and run it hard. So Ducharme will work from the shotgun. This time he is sacked in the backyard. The loss of about 4 on the play, tackled on the play by number 62 from Daniel McIntyre. And that would be Donovan Bateman. So great job by the Daniel McIntyre front line to, force a third down for Kildonan East.
Yeah, not exactly what Kildonan East needed there.
A great start on the kickoff and to stall on the next play is not exactly what they wanted.
Brian, this is not a bad spot to fake either. Midfield.
So Alex Bader will punt the ball. And just gets it away, almost blocked, and picked up and by Nathaniel King Wilson, who will find a bit of room down the right side, but eventually pushed out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Flag on the play.
It's going to be no yards, but I think he gained more than 5 yards, so it'll probably be declined.
So Daniel McIntyre appears to be starting it from about their 24-yard line.
No, maybe not.
We're still waiting for the call.
Maybe there's 2 flags.
We're still waiting for the calls, folks. So while we're waiting here, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to invite you for tomorrow night, Thursday, November 9th, to join us at Investors Group Field. And LRSD will present more Winnipeg High School Football League action as we present the Ctv Bowl at 5 o'clock, in which we'll see the Oak Park Raiders take on the Vincent Massey Vikings from Brandon. And then at 7:30, the AAA Winnipeg
There are
High
2
School
fouls
Football
on the
League
play.
Championship, the
Offside,
Bowl,
Daniel
which will
Mack.
feature the St.
No
Paul
yards.
Crusaders
Kildonan
versus
needs 5 yards.
the
We'll
Dakota
foul
Lancers.
those at the previous line of
And
scrimmage.
I believe
Repeat
that
third
should
down.
be the Dakota Lancers' first time to the championship since they got a team started at the high school.
In the AAA or Anovitz Bowl, yes.
Yes, in the AAA Bowl.
So we had offsetting penalties, basically offside.
So Alex
Daniel
Bader
Mack
will get a kick away, but again, they're getting good pressure on him, and the ball will bounce out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
So in the last play, we had offside. Daniel Mack, no yards on Kildonan East, so they had to re-kick.
So they're going to say it actually went out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So that's where Daniel McIntyre will take over with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, up 15-0 over Kildonan East. Benson under center will hand off to number 35, Mulabu again, who will keep breaking and working for some more down and will continue to push and get a first down on the play. A gain of about 12 yards. Well done, Rick Mulabu, to have a great run there.
Little ball of hate on that one. He's a hammer on that time. He's just bouncing. He's a little pinball, just bouncing off of everybody.
And we have a Kildonan East player down.
So a great run. I mean, basically, that was all will by Mulabu. I mean, you know, what more could you ask for a player like that in these cold conditions?
So number 40, Ono Akili, injured on the play and is helped off the field. Looks like he's walking off okay, so hopefully we'll see him back in the game soon again, and I'm sure he'll want to be. So 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Benson hands off to nope, not this time. Nathaniel King-Wilson, who is back in the game and will have a great run moving down the right side and eventually pushed out of bounds and tackled. Gets down to about the 52-yard line.
He's a little slow getting up there, though.
Yeah, in fact, he's down on one knee on the opposite side of the field then. He was this tackle did start out of bounds, but did come down pretty hard on him outside of out of bounds, Greg. But I think Goldenstein actually was in on that one. And I'm looking across the field, and he's still down. And
yeah, he might have just got the wind knocked out of him. It was hard to tell from our vantage point, but you know, trainer's going to go over and look after him.
And you know, from our vantage point, that's exactly what it looked like. And we're looking at the replay here, so maybe we'll get a better view. But you know, finding a bit of room to the right side, and he was chased down by Goldenstein, but yeah, pushed out of bounds and
might have landed on the ball too.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But he's getting up. And he's walking on his own steam. But great run by Nathaniel King-Wilson. And because of that run, that gives Daniel McIntyre a 1st and 10 from the Kildonan East 51-yard line.
You can see on the screen here, camera angle, that the snow coming down here. It's nice and fluffy. Hopefully we don't have to go home and shovel the walk too much. So, second last day of the Winnipeg High School Football League 27-17 season. As Brian was mentioning earlier, there's 2 more games tomorrow and it wraps up the season. Both the Ctv Bowl and the Yanovitz Bowl is the championship for the AA and AAA, the Vidrick and the Potter divisions. Looking forward to great games tomorrow on LRSDTV.
Two great games so far. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of scoring, but we've seen some great football. Benson starts under center, and he will hand off to Mulabu, and this time Mulabu is tracked down right away and tackled at the midfield line.
Looks like he lost about 4 yards.
Yeah, pursued, it looks like number 54 for KE.
Look, one of the first times I've seen him go down with first contact.
Tackle on the play by number 54, Emmanuel Hailu. So 2nd and 14. Benson will drop back to pass, and he will look down the field and find an open receiver down the left side who will find lots of room and eventually tackled and pushed out of bounds by number 22 from KE, but good run by number 28 from Daniel McIntyre, DA.
He was wide open on that.
So tackled on the play by number 22 from Kelowna East, Connor Becker.
We have a good view of this from field level here on our instant replay. So wide open, nice little catch and run, gain of about 20 yards.
Benson rolls to his right side, throws the ball up in the air, and I'm not sure. I'm wondering if Schnurk actually interfered from the possibility of number 84 from Daniel McIntyre, Ong too, from catching the ball there. But
yeah, the upfield pressure by Kelowna East really forced Benson to throw off his wrong foot there. So it wasn't a lot of velocity on that ball. So could have been almost, could have been intercepted too, either way. So
I'm going to say a big play here for the Kelowna East defense. 2nd and 10. Daniel hand inside to finding some bit of room to the left side is number 9, who will run and get about 7-8 yards and flag in on the play afterwards, late after the tackle is finished. So it would be interesting to see this call. Run of the play by Riley Redsky.
It's not quite enough for a first down here, so this penalty will be huge.
Oh, they're going to say forward pass interference.
Probably a clipping.
Illegal block. Daniel Mack, number 20.
block.
10-yard penalty for made 2nd down.
Interesting that they took the penalty there. So 2nd down and, about 20 yards.
Okay. Well, yeah, and interesting that they take that, but on some level, I guess they wanted to make sure they pushed them back far enough to keep them out of, or make it a longer distance to the end zone. But Benson will put back and throw the ball up, and good job by number 22 again from the Kelowna East, Connor Becker, to knock the ball out just before it's caught on the play, and so that will make it a very long 3rd and 20 for Daniel McIntyre. Will be forced to punt the ball away.
Daniel McIntyre bench is yelling for pass interference on this, but
it was close.
I think it's a good no call by the refs.
Good job by Schnurk to get the ball away. Fielded by Nelson, who will go to his left, but not much there this time.
Now, Brian, that's about the 3rd time I've seen a player kind of slip. I guess with the little bit of the snow on the ground, it does create a little bit more of a slippery field condition here.
Tackled on the play by number 35, Mulubu again, who now we're seeing, kind of all over the place and getting himself involved in all parts of the game today.
Yeah, he's not really leaving the field a whole lot here.
No, he's not. So KA will take over from their 23-yard line. Nelson in at quarterback this time, but the handoff did not go well.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little confusion. I think they just tripped up on each other's feet there.
Martin Wea took the ball.
No gain on the play, and as a matter of fact, loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
So 2nd and 12. Nelson continues to work at quarterback and hands inside, and not much again there for Wea.
Gain of maybe 3?
Yeah, about 3 on the play, but that's going to be a long 3rd down now, and I got to believe that KE is going to be forced to kick the ball away with 47 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So Alex Bader is back and ready to take the punt. Flag on the play, and Bader gets a decent putt away, but it goes out of bounds at about the 44-yard line.
Flag down, so it's could be either offside or they're calling offside on Daniel Mack.
So still well short of a first down. What do you think is going to happen here, Greg?
Well, that's not a great punt, so Kelowna East might take the penalty and then repunt, or
offside.
It's a little closer
Daniel
to
Mack
go for it if they
line.
wanted to, but
5-yard
still
penalty.
pretty early for
Replay
that.
third down.
25 seconds left in the third quarter, so still a full 12 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the game.
So maybe a better punt this time.
And we've seen a couple of good punts from Bader this afternoon. Oh, sorry, this evening.
I'm not sure why they're waiting for the...
Well, apparently there's something going on there. The KE team is, I mean, the boys down there are letting each other know that there's something wrong. And
So
yeah, they were short a player.
They're short a player, so that's their second timeout that they've used now.
And now I think they have none left. Bader gets another kick away. It gets down to and fielded and actually fumbled. Now this will definitely be a no yards penalty, but you know, down about the, fielded about midfield, so the will take over after the penalty. Should be well inside Kildonan East territory.
Question will be, is it 5 or 15?
No yards. Kildonan East number 1. 5-yard penalty. 1 play left in the quarter.
First down, Maroons. Ball is on the Reaver 52-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 from the 52-yard line of Kildonan East.
LJ Garcia, the ball carrier.
Back to end the quarter.
So to end the quarter, it's 15-0 for Daniel McIntyre.
Noah
over top of
Fillion in to
Kildonan
make
East.
the stop. Gain of 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. And that concludes the third quarter of play. With the score, Daniel Mack Maroons 15, Kildonan East Reavers 0.
So Greg, 1 quarter of football left, and essentially Daniel Mack has done a good job of controlling the football. Haven't turned the ball over nearly as much as Kildonan East has, and I really believe that that's been the biggest factor in this game. So now I gotta believe that Daniel's going to want to control the ball as much as they can and burn off as much of the clock as they can, and KK's got to try and get that ball back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Daniel Mack. I want to put another score up on the clock, on the scoreboard, so that they have three scores to basically tie the game.
So Benson will hold on to the ball and
Kieran
for
Benson,
a quarterback sneak and get about 4 or 5 yards on the play, enough for a first down and maintain possession of the ball. And exactly like I said, they're going to do ball control now for, I got to believe, for most of the game, which meaning the game, as long as KE doesn't get the ball back quickly and put a couple of quick scores on the game, there'll be a lot more ball control from them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's give credit to Daniel Mack defense for pitching a shutout for 3 quarters.
So Benson pitches out to Mulabu, who will cut to his left and get in behind some blockers and find a gap and eventually tackle down at about the 28-yard line. Good run by Mulabu.
Boy, you could just hear the crowd on the opposite side just go, oh, when he was caught, because one more player and he's gone for the touchdown.
Yeah, he was building up a good head of steam when they finally caught up to him. And tackled on the play by Abhishek Sharma, he's actually had a good game even though K is losing. He's been in on many of the plays we've heard so far. So Benson hands off to Mulabu, who will cut into the center and then back a bit towards the left, but tackled on the play by Singh.
Second and about 6. You know, not a bad play call there. I mean, a nice little run. 2nd and 6 is a decent amount of opportunity here for Daniel Mack. He can run or throw here.
Yeah, you got to believe that if Daniel scores here, it's going to be very difficult for Kildonan East. Not impossible, but they're going to have a tough time. So Benson's back, and he's going to look to pass, and he throws the ball up, and he's looking for Snurk, who will go up and catch the ball. Waiting for the call from the referee. No, they're saying down at the 1-yard line, but great catch by Schnurk to bring that ball down and to maintain possession in amongst all that coverage, Greg.
Let me tell you something, Brian. That quarterback threw it high enough that it came down with ice on it.
Yes,
it was that high.
On today's day, almost anything will come down with ice on it, but you're right. He threw it up in the air, but great job by Schnurk to maintain focus and concentration and grab that ball and bring it in. And this time Benson will hold on, push it in for a touchdown. That brings the score up to 21-0 for Daniel McIntyre over Kildonan East, and now Kildonan East has got a big hill to work up against to get themselves back into this game with 9:15 left in the 4th quarter.
Well, the difference so far has just been big plays. I mean, consistency and big plays out of Daniel Mack.
So point after, it's up and it's good. So Daniel takes a 22-0 score with 9:15 left in the 4th quarter. And I'm telling you, I'm looking to see Kildonan East coming. They're going to have to make something happen right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pride on the other side of the field there from Kildonan East, and I'm sure their players are disappointed with how the first 3 quarters have gone, but they still have 9 minutes left to make a game of this.
And you know, I know that, you know, they might not be thinking this. I know they're down by quite a bit, but they've been in this game and just basically the turnovers and have done them in at times. And I know I've said that throughout the game, but Kildonan East has been competitive the whole game and just not been able to finish when they needed to. Done things almost to themselves. Kickoff's up and fielded by Goldenstein, who cut to his left side. Eventually tackled at about the 45-yard line, so decent field position to start off with for Kildonan East.
Better kick coverage out of the Maroons this time. A much better job of containing the Goldenstein to limit the gain there.
And as you said, and you know, I want to add to we got to give we do have to give the Daniel McIntyre defense credit for holding the Kildonan Reivers to no score so far, and they've moved the ball well, they've played well, and they've showed why they're a 7-0 team so far this season. Oh, fumble on the play, and Nelson will pick it up, and he's going to bust a couple of tackles and try cutting to his right, and he will push and fumbles the ball, and recovered by Nathaniel King Wilson. And that has got to be frustrating for Nelson right now, and it's getting physical down there, and there's some frustration being shown, and Nelson is clearly unhappy with what's going on. Flags up on the play.
On the play,
couple Daniel Mac players are down as well. They collided pretty hard there trying to tackle Nelson.
I'm looking, Schnurk was actually down for a second, but he's got up and he's moving around. And I'm trying to see who the injured Maroon is right now, but I'm thinking that flag is going to be against KE, and in particular Mr. Nelson, who was not happy at the end of that play.
Well,
no, actually, I'm seeing one against Daniel.
Unnecessary roughness. Daniel Mack, number 64. 15 yards up from the end of the play.
So check that, ladies and gentlemen, and check that. I apologize to Mr. Nelson that I saw something I didn't see, or I thought I saw something there, but it was obviously wrong. But that will be 15-yard penalty against Daniel McIntyre, but we'll still retain the ball.
Yeah, so I mean, we've talked about it all game now. It's those turnovers by Kildonan East that are really hurting Kildonan East. I mean, great effort, excellent runs, never-ending runs, but when you're putting the ball on the ground like that, it's going to hurt you. Whether it's high school, CFL, NFL, college, whatever it is, you can't put the ball on the ground.
So here we go then, 8:38 left in the fourth quarter. Daniel up 22-0. And will take over at their own 38.5-yard line. Benson works on the center and hands off. This time not much room, and caught immediately on the play by number 92, Joseph Hayward.
Getting a little chippy down there now.
There's a little frustration being shown by the team right now.
I see on the replay here, good tackle by 92.
So they're calling unnecessary roughness against Daniel McIntyre, and that's
unnecessary
the second
roughness.
unnecessary
Daniel
roughness
Mack, number
penalty over the
64.
last.
Dead ball foul, back 15 yards, second down.
And it's interesting that those unnecessary roughness penalties are coming from Daniel, Greg, and they're up 22-0 in the Canadians Bowl.
Yeah, they have to keep composure here. They have to keep reminding themselves that they're the ones that are in control here at 22-0 here, and just walk away from those kind of situations, because you want to hurt your team. You don't want to hurt your chances of bringing home the championship.
So now the clock is showing 3rd and 25. So I think they have to check something here. I think it's 2nd and 25.
So as we're waiting here, I just want to just remind fans that there will be this Ctv Bowl and the Anovitz Bowl on tomorrow. LRSDTV will be broadcasting. So Ctv Bowl has Oak Park Raiders versus the Vincent Massey Brandon Vikings for the AA championship game, or the Ctv Bowl. And then our marquee, our WHSFL championship game is the Anovitz Bowl. And that pits the 7-0 St. Paul's Crusaders versus the 5-2 Dakota Lancers. As Brian, you had mentioned earlier, it's Dakota's first time to the AAA or Anovitz Bowl championship game. Crusaders, of course, are one of the premier teams in the WHSFL. They're 7-0. They've had again a fantastic season this year. Lancers, very, very young team last year. They've been able to dominate Sisler 42-0 in the semifinal, turn the right to play in the Anovitz Bowl. So should be a good game tomorrow in that big city championship.
And I'll add to that we have watched 2 very good football games today. Now the scores may not reflect of it. Well, we've seen some great action from all 4 teams that we've seen on the field, and this is what Winnipeg High School Football League action should be all about. Kids really coming out and showcasing what they do and finishing and leaving it out in the field.
Lots of passion out there.
So it is showing 2nd and 25, not 3rd, and like it's showing on the Giants scorecard. But so Mulubu will go and find some room outside and will run and push it back inside and get close to the first down marker, but will end up being 3 or 4 yards short. But a great run by Mulubu.
Well, great job by Mulubu again. You know, I feel like I'm a broken record just saying great run, but you know, great effort by Mulubu, and you know, puts his team up 15 yards, almost 12, 15 yards, and gives them a better spot to kick the ball from.
And so with that being 3rd and about 4, the ball gets kicked away and fielded by Goldenstein just over on his own side of center, but gets it up to about the 50-yard line of Daniel McIntyre with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left. And as I said a few minutes ago, Kildonan East really needs to make something happen this series.
Yeah, I don't know if they can come back and win the game, but at least if they can get on the board, there's you know, the vibes that you get when you're actually up on the scoreboard and you're doing something positive, right? So hopefully for Kildonan East, they're able to get a touchdown here or something.
So handoff inside to number 2 from Kildonan East, Martin Zwia, but it isn't going to get much, maybe a yard or 2.
So 2nd down and 8 yards for Kildonan East.
6:42 left in the 4th quarter in the Canadians Bowl. Ducharme will pitch it back. Well, the ball came out, and I mean, that's got to be frustrating for Kildonan East. I'm pretty sure they're, you know, down by contact. And
yeah.
Sorry, down. The ball came out because he hit the ground, not because it was out beforehand. And you know, I got to believe that KE's in 3-down football right now, even though that's a loss. So Ducharme at quarterback, and he's surrounded. And he will roll to his right, but not much there. Will break free of one and will find some room. But eventually tackled at the midfield stripe, and that is where St. Paul's will take over on downs. I think the ball might have come out, but...
Daniel Mack.
Sorry.
Daniel Mack takes over.
Did I say KE?
No, you said St. Paul's.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. Daniel Mack, one of the Daniel Mack players down.
Got a Daniel Mack player down, but great defensive coverage by the Daniel McIntyre Maroons, and they'll take over on downs close to the center field marker. But you know, tough play for Kildonan East. I know they tried to make something happen, and quarterback Nicholas Ducharme, you know, just wasn't given much room and much to work with there, and good pressure.
Yeah, once again, the Daniel Mack team speed, like coming off the edge or whatever it is, it's just amazing to watch these guys play. Very good team that way.
You know, I think that we're looking at number 55 from Daniel McIntyre, Samtra, who's down. And he's in some discomfort, so.
As he's coming off again, we'll...
I'm actually thinking he's got a cramp, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times these guys, especially if they're playing 2 ways, they might not be drinking enough fluid during the game or whatever the situation is with them.
Not surprising,
but they could get a cramp.
Yeah. So he's gonna. You can see he's definitely going to try to work that out. He wants to get back in the game. He's a grade 12 student from our list, and so he's ready to get going again. So Mulubu tries to find something outside, but he's pursued by a number of KE players and ends up being tackled on the play by Goldenstein.
Smart play just to stay in bounds, though. You know, keep the clock running here. Again, Kildonan East has used 2 timeouts earlier in the third quarter to for various reasons. So Kildonan East is not able to stop the clock right now.
A loss of about 3 on the play, so 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. Benson will draw it back to pass, and he will throw the ball up in the air, but it is well over the head of his receiver, Nathan King Wilson. It's okay, he will get the ball back. Low kick, and it's pushed out of bounds. Goldenstein will take it and cut back and try to find some room down the left-hand side, and eventually pushed out of bounds at about the 52-yard line. No, they'll put him just over the 50. Flag on the play is thrown. Again, we're starting to see some, those frustration penalties, Greg.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that these teams don't like each other.
Well, especially now.
Again, Daniel Mack is in a situation there, total control of the game. No point in being involved in any of this
Objectionable
kind of
conduct charged against the Maroons.
Objectionable conduct.
And
Daniel
it's
Mack, number
interesting because that's
24.
at least the
15
third
yards at the end of the play. First down.
Unnecessary roughness call against Daniel McIntyre in the last few series, and they are up 22-0.
Yeah, you don't want to give them any hope of coming back, so these penalties are not doing Daniel Mack any favors.
So Descharmes will work for the shotgun. And he's going to be rushed, and he will roll to his right and then throw the ball up and downfield. Oh, intercepted through the hands of his intended receiver, number 80, Goldenstein, and eventually intercepted on the play by number 28 from Daniel McIntyre.
And he was rocked.
DA, who's had a great game today, but yeah, he got hit pretty hard afterwards, and he paid the price for that interception.
So I haven't officially counted, but I think that's about the 6th turnover by Kildonan East. Here's the replay of the throw and interception.
Just over top of the reach of Goldenstein. So Benson continues from under center. Hands off inside to number 30, Garcia. Second and 7, just over 3 minutes left in the game. And Benson will hand off to Mulabu, who will cut to his right side and will push and get enough for the first down and a little bit more. They're going to give him up to about the 43.5-yard line.
Good job by Mulabu to put both hands over the ball to protect the ball. At this stage, his ball protection is the most important.
And he's had a great game
factor.
today.
Oh, a fantastic game. Gotta love it. Equipment's popping out of his pants and stuff like that. He's been in a fight today.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 from just inside the 44-yard line. And Benson will continue to work right from under center with 2 backs, 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. And he will look and he will put the ball up for Schnurk, but just outside of his reach. And You know, interesting that they're throwing the ball up right now, Greg, given that they've got a 22-point lead, and they're not taking their foot off the gas at all.
Nope, they are not. The only problem with that is the clock doesn't start until the snap of the ball now.
I see that they just brought the championship trophy out onto the field for presentation. So Benson pitches back to Mulubu, who will cut back into the middle and find some room and cut back to the left side of the field. And
he could score.
He's got one cover man to beat, and he could score. And he will break that cover and in, going for a touchdown. So with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left, Mulubu will score to put the Daniel McIntyre Maroons up 28-0. Really emphasizing why they were a 7-0 team this year, Greg.
Yeah, what a dynamic player Mulubu is. That was all heart and speed on his part to get to that end zone.
Doesn't bother him to play in this cold, I guess.
Nope. He's taken some really tough, hard hits today, and he's bounced back up, and he's one heck of a player. I'm wondering if Winnipeg Rifles or the U of M Bisons are maybe looking at giving this young football player a tryout.
He is in grade 12. And this time they're going to go for the 2-point convert. So they'll throw it up to the corner. And getting underneath it is Nathaniel King-Wilson, who will score the 2 points and give the Daniel McIntyre Maroons a 30-0 lead.
Nice ball, nice catch. There's some good players out here. So 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. 30-0 for Daniel Mac. To be honest with you, the score is not indicative. I mean, Kildonan East has had a really good game. They've had some really good plays. At the end of the day, though, it's those turnovers that are going to hurt Daniel Mac. And I guess I'm going to go out and live here and say I think Daniel Mac's going to win their first championship since 1978. It's kind of fitting. They have the old Winnipeg High School Football League Championship trophy down there. It's called the Centennial Championship Trophy. So Daniel Mac is they've got a lot of Daniel Mac plaques on there. Them and St. Paul's have had probably the most Winnipeg High School Football League championships on that trophy.
And well earned today. And big credit to the Daniel McIntyre defense for preventing the Kildonan East Reavers from scoring at all. And yes, there's been turnovers, but those turnovers have been forced by the Daniel McIntyre Maroons, who've had a great game on defense today.
So great job by both teams' coaching staffs to get to the championship, and kudos to the Daniel Mac coaches for a great team. Really, they're not the biggest team on the field for sure, but they have a lot of heart, they have a lot of speed, and they're very well coached.
So it's the kick return is taken by Goldenstein, who will fight, and he keeps continuing to work hard, but eventually pulled down and dragged down at the 37-yard line. Flag down on the play, though.
Look at that, it's another penalty from away from the play here, so we'll wait and see what this is all about. Also, I want to mention that the Daniel Mac principal, Lauren Belmore, pardon me, he's played for the Winnipeg Hawkeyes. He's coached the U of M Bisons with Brian Doby, his O-line coach. So Principal Belmore, congratulations on a football championship at Daniel Mac.
I want to, congratulate both coaches from the teams, John St. Cyr, and I hope I'm saying your name right, and then of course Jason Hawkins from Kildonan East, and providing us a great game today and coaching your teams well. Both teams definitely deserve to be here. I know that Kildonan East a little disappointed, and kind of worked against themselves through most of the game today, but did deserve to be in this one. I mean, have played well, more than it's being shown, as we've said a number of times today. A little disappointed for them. They weren't able to score, at least so far, with 2 minutes left in the game. But, congratulations to both coaches on doing such a great job with their teams. So Ducharme's back, and he's going to put the ball up, and he's got complete this time and hit immediately after catching the ball.
Nice catch.
Nice catch by number 11, for Bryce Bayasabi again. We've called his name a few games. He's had a decent game today. It brings him up to the 50-yard line. And again, if anything else, I will admit that I hope that Kildonan East is able to put something on the board before the game's over.
Go, Ethan, make a play now, let's go!
So 1st and 10 from their own 50-yard line. Minute 38 left. Ducharme will hand off to Goldenstein, who will cut to the left. The sweet and get tackled at about the 50-yard line. Should be enough for a first down.
Nice little jet sweep to Goldenstein. We haven't called his name. I thought he'd be getting the ball a little bit more often
than what he has.
Yeah,
he's had a busy game though, playing on both sides. Getting down to close to 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. Complete to Goldenstein, speaking of, and he will cut to his left side and into the middle and eventually tackled at the 30-yard line by number 12 from Daniel McIntyre. And that's Pa Saw. You know, I'm looking down the list here for Coach St. Cyr from Daniel McIntyre, and he's got a lot of grade 11s on his list, Greg, so he's got to be looking forward to next year.
Yeah, no, there's some good players that are certainly coming back for Daniel Mac.
So Ducharme will look in the shotgun, and big rush comes in. He will be sacked. Oh no, he breaks free, and he will cut to his right side, and he will throw the ball up and down the field and over the head of his intended receiver, Nelson. But great job from Ducharme to get out to the right side of his field and still try to get make something happen down the field. Good pursuit by the Daniel McIntyre defense and good pressure. But great job from Nicholas Ducharme to make something out of nothing.
Oh, and he had number 11 down at the goal line wide open. Just couldn't get the ball down there.
So that's 2nd and 10 with 38 seconds left. And I believe that at this point in time, they're not going to be satisfied even, it scores 0 with just a field goal. They're going to want to finish with a touchdown. So Ducharme puts the ball up and throws it up in the air. It's knocked down on the play by number 28. Check me if I'm wrong.
Looks right.
So number 28 from Daniel McIntyre. That's DA.
He's had a good game defensively.
He's had a great game. And as I said, another grade 11 student from Daniel McIntyre. So he'll be back next year. And so 31 seconds left, and it's 3rd and 10. Big play coming from Kildonan East. Ducharme will throw the ball up for Nelson. Almost caught on the play. It just goes through the hands of Nelson, and got to feel disappointed for that young man because he's had a
frustrating
really
game.
up and down game, and he's played better, much better than what he's going to think he has today. So turnover on downs, and Daniel McIntyre will take over on downs at just about their own 30-yard line.
So 25 seconds left, couple kneels, and we're done. Bring out the championship trophy.
So looking ahead, and towards the end of this game, and I want to thank everybody for joining. Greg and I, we're LRSD.
Coach just got doused.
We're looking at Coach John St. Cyr from Daniel McIntyre, who just got the Gatorade treatment.
It's only minus 11. There's probably a little bit of chunks of ice in there.
He's going to feel that for pretty soon, I think.
What's that called? Polar bear when you go jumping in the cold?
Yeah, well, that's going to be cold pretty soon. So we are looking at, like we said, it's now coming down. We're coming down to clock's just about out, and 3 seconds left. And last play of the Canadians Bowl 2017 Winnipeg High School football finals action. Canadians Bowl from the Investors Group Field, and we want to thank you for joining us. Just a reminder that again tomorrow night we will have 2 more games for you: the Ctv Bowl and the Anavet's Bowl. The Ctv Bowl will be Oak Park versus Vincent Massey Brandon, finishing then with the Anavet Bowl, the AAA final with St. Paul's versus Dakota, and we look forward to bringing that one to you. We ask that you join us and come back to LRSD.TV. We're going to finish with a few highlights, and I want to congratulate both teams, Kildonan East and Daniel McIntyre, on a well-played game. Congratulations to coaches, Coach Hawkins and Coach St. Cyr on a well-played and a great season. We thank everybody who's participated and helped us get to be part of this broadcast. And on behalf of myself and Greg, I want to thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll hear from you tomorrow. See you tomorrow night. Thank you.